Woo! Wow, I'm Chewy Mew, and welcome to my channel, but more specifically, welcome to another Chewy Mew video, where today we're going to be taking a look at a type of figure that I usually never take a look at, and that is the Loyal Subjects Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles AXN figure 4-pack. So, yeah, so, spoilers, I like Ninja Turtles. I never really review Ninja Turtles figures, because I don't really collect many. I do have, like, the retro 80s figures that came out recently. And, you know, I decided to get this at Walmart. It was, like, I think, like, 90 bucks. And spoilers, I am going to return it because it has, like, some issues and stuff. And it does have this cool, window that you can open. You can see, like, all the figures and stuff. And this is the black and white, like, versions of them. Just their masks are in color. And you can see it says some stuff over here. Incredible sculpt details with tons of accessories and 31 points of articulation. And then I like that they list all of the articulation. It says wishbone hip ball joints. Wishbone. So that's like the wishbone is the hips. I mean, do humans have wishbones? I don't know. But yeah, so spoilers, I did already open this. You can see it says Ninja Turtles on the side there as well. And on the back, yeah, there's an image there. I mean, it looks cool. These are the black and white versions. I got this at Walmart, and Walmart did also have, they also had the colored versions that were, like, single cards. Or they weren't in cards, but, like, in single boxes. And I got this because this one's, like, I think $9 cheaper than if I were to buy all of them separate. And also, there are some trading cards in the box as well here. There's trading cards. Yeah, look at that. You can see, Leonardo is here too. But there's, like, tape on it and it gets stuck. I don't want to rip these. But yeah, you can, if I can, do that. Look at that. You can see them. That's cool. Then on the back, they have bios, in case you want to, like, read them. Like, you can, like, pause and read them if you want to. Yeah, there's some cool art. These are black and white, which, you know, to me, it's fine. I'm considering I'm not going to keep them, but also because my brain doesn't work. Yeah, guys, I'm so tired these days that multitasking doesn't work for me anymore. But yeah, so they are black and white, which doesn't matter. Like I said, I am going to return them, but it also doesn't matter just because I could just, like, if I kept them, I could just pretend that their skin is gray, I guess, you know? So, yeah, let's go ahead and open this. Also like that it has this kind of, this big tray. I like that. Come on. I'm trying to not pull it off so the accessories don't go flying. And you get a bunch of stuff. The least interesting thing here is you get this, like, I think it's a sticker. I'm pretty sure you can peel it. I'm not going to peel it, though. But yeah, BST AXN. I don't know what this stands for, but that's cool. Let's take a look at Michelangelo first. I'm gonna do all of them in one video, you know, just because it's like a box set, so might as well. So let me stand them on the ground. They're kind of short. They're shorter than like a Toy Biz Spider-Man figure, which, I mean, they're not supposed to go with these. And I think, like, if I'm not wrong, I think these are supposed to be, like, the IDW Turtles. I think that's, I could swear the box said somewhere on it that these are the IDW designs. I think it says on the foot, because on the bottom of the feet they say, oh no, they don't, they just say Viacom and then the Loyal Subjects. I've also never heard of the Loyal Subjects until I got this, because I've never heard them before. I mostly know, like, Toy Biz, Hasbro, NECA, SH Figuarts. I don't know, like, I know other ones, but I wasn't familiar with this company. But yeah, you can see, if these are the IDW Turtles, I think they're supposed to be, like, 5 foot, so they should be about, like, that tall. Spider-Man is supposed to be 5'5", so these are, I mean, like, I think Leonardo is taller than Michelangelo. A little bit taller, but yeah, I think if they were, like, the point I'm making is they're not 1/12 scale, but, you know, that's fine, because I probably wouldn't, you could probably post Spider-Man with these guys. But yeah, so here's Michelangelo, and, you know, they have a bunch of accessories. And some of those accessories are, like, first we got an interchangeable head, if I can pop this out of here. And the cool thing is they come with the back of the bandana, like the straps on the end. You can plug them into the head, and like this, the angry head. He comes with two heads. You can plug them in here, and they do rotate. If you do move them and you twist them, oh no, one of the turtles, I think it was Raphael, one of them, if you move it too much, they pop out. But there's like the angry face. That looks pretty cool. It does look weird without paint, because it looks more like a prototype, because it doesn't have any paint. You can see like the spots on his head. The shell has really nice detail to it. That's cool. Yeah, that's nice. He has the pouches here for the nunchucks. The pouches everywhere. This has a lot of texture. Like, the figure is texture throughout the body. And here's the other head. The one thing that looks kind of weird is how when they're not angry, they have pupils. And the pupils being gray like that, they look weird. I don't know. Like the Donatello, one of his faces looks kind of creepy, which we'll get to that. But it looks pretty cool, and look, the detail is nice. There is one issue here where this arm is kind of gummy, where if you want to move it, you got to really pry it at the top. I mean, if you were to buy this, or if anyone were to buy this, you probably want to, like, heat it up. Like, heat up the shoulders so you can move them, or any tight joints. But yeah, so it looks cool. And the joints look kind of janky here and there, which I'll get to, but it looks cool. Like, it looks like a nice figure. Just the colored ones, I'd probably prefer the colored ones if I wanted to collect these, because the colored ones are in color, which, you know, I mean, it looks cool like this. Like, I like that they're all black and white except the mask. It looks cool. As far as other stuff that he comes with, out of these, Donatello, I think, comes with the most stuff. And of course, Michelangelo comes with his nunchucks, which you can pop into his hands here. The hands are pretty stiff. You might want to, like, you know, boil the hands as well, or like with a hair dryer. I mean, you could probably boil these because they don't have like paint that's gonna peel off. Like if you boil them, they're really tough to get in. You can get them to hold them. These parts are not like, in some versions they're chains, in some versions they're like a rope kind of thing, like a cable kind of looking thing. These ones are not. These ones are what's it called? These ones are. They're like in a fixed position, so you probably heat them up and like bend them and stuff. But he does also come with alternate like nunchucks. I know there's a specific name for these. They're not just called nunchucks with like a spike on the end. Those are cool as well. And he also comes with, if I can get these out of here, interchangeable hands, which all of them come with 6 hands in total. Like these two. Oh, these are both, these hands are like almost the same hand. They're both kind of like style posing hands. But, I think he only comes with one, and then he comes with like a pointing hand. That's nice. The hinges on these are really tight. Like, you really gotta like push them. And then the last one is, come on, a fist hand. So I was going to say, some of the turtles come with multiple gripping hands for, like, different weapons. Like, Leonardo comes with different gripping hands. I think he's the only one, actually. But these are cool. They're really stiff. You can hear, like, the squeaking. Put these in. These are a little less stiff, and these look cool. It'd be nice if they had, like, a wire so you could bend them and stuff. And one of the issues I said at the beginning, how there's issues with these, that a lot of these, when you bend them and you pose them, like Leonardo's swords, they feel like they're going to break. And like Michelangelo's arms, they feel like they're going to break. So I feel like they might break, and I don't want to, you know, figures that I'm always worried about. Will I break the shoulders and the weapons? But you can hold these. It's weird how he has these pouches here, which you can't put anything in them. You can't put anything, I mean, you could put them like that, but that's going to be kind of dumb. But what you could do with these weapons is you can stick them back here in the pouches, which, you know, practically, I mean, I guess you could grab them. Like, you could, like, pull them out. I mean, they would make sense to be down the other direction, but you can't really put them in that way. You know, like, if they're put this way, so he could, like, reach behind him and pull them out, because, you know. But yeah, but these are cool. Like, the accessories are cool. This is way more stuff than, like, with the Marvel Legends. And the thing is, each of these figures, because the box was, like, I think $85. That's about what, like about $20 per figure. And like the single figures, They're about like $21 each. Let's swap the hands here. So this is better than Marvel Legends. And look at all the stuff you get. All the hands and stuff and all the accessories. You can switch these hands. Like, yeah, they feel really tight. I feel like they might break. That's the one thing I will say that's good about Hasbro figures most of the time, is that they don't feel like they're gonna break. You know, like sometimes they do, and sometimes Toby's figures the joints break. With all figures, sometimes you might just have like bad luck with joints that are gonna break. The heads are tight as well, but yeah, a lot of these joints, like the shoulders on him and Raphael's shoulders too, I think some of the joints just feel like they might break, and the weapons are very fragile. But you know, like that looks cool. Just the winky eye, like with the eye open when they're not angry, they look kind of weird. I wish they always didn't have pupils, or I wish the pupils, I don't know, they just look kind of weird with the way they're done. But there's Michelangelo, like pointing hand, fist hand. It is weird how his left hand, you have like kind of two hands that are pretty similar. They're not identical hands, but they're pretty similar. I don't know. But yeah, Michelangelo's cool. Also, you might be wondering, dude, who's your favorite Ninja Turtle? And, you know, I don't know. Like, it depends. Maybe Leonardo. Like, most people's favorite is Leonardo, and that's, like, the basic answer. But, yeah, I like Leonardo. Just because he's, like, the least... He doesn't... Like, all the turtles kind of have, like, a gimmick, you know? Like, Donatello's the tech genius. Michelangelo's the goofball. Raphael's the kind of angry guy. And Leonardo's kind of just, like, the, like, serious kind of guy. So, I don't know, it's kind of weird. Ninja Turtles I like the Ninja Turtles, but I couldn't really pick a favorite. I like them all for different reasons. My favorite version of the Ninja Turtles, though, is the 2003 cartoon. I just really like that. Oh, you know what else we should do? We should go over the articulation. So the head is really tight. Both of the heads are pretty tight, but the head looks up that much. It looks down that much. You can pivot side to side a little bit. And it does rotate all the way around, which heads don't do that. And these parts, you can rotate them. It is mostly like rotation, so you can have like angles. Some of the other turtles have like different shapes, or these are different designs, so you can angle them differently. And like I said, the arms feel like they're going to break off. The joints do pop off. It's better that they pop off than break. But if these shoulder joints were just... Like, mostly on Michelangelo and I think Donatello, if they were looser, it'd be better. But you can do that, and he does have butterfly joints, which don't really work the best. I feel like on Michelangelo, they're not the most useful, considering you can, I guess you could kind of, like, dual-wield a weapon. I mean, he doesn't have gripping hands on, but you could definitely, like, the hands line up, you could definitely have him not dual-wield, that's, like, two-hand a weapon, if you wanted to. The elbow joints, he does have a double bend in the elbow, which it looks kind of weird. Like, this one thing, the joints look kind of wacky when you bend them. And then the wrists, all the wrists have a horizontal hinge and a rotation, which on a weapon hand, you need like a vertical hinge so you can move like this, like hinge up and down. Especially like Leonardo if you have him pointing a sword forward, which you don't have those, which that's kind of unfortunate. The packaging does say they have an ab crunch, which they don't. They do rotate here, like you can rotate them, but you can't really like crunch them forward or anything. I did notice you can't pop them off, and they do have a ball peg here, and like a hole that goes in there, but the problem is, because like, you know, the Ninja Turtles, by design, like they don't really have like much, they don't look like they can have ab movement, you know, even as like real characters. Like I've never really seen them hunch forward. They probably can, but I don't know. And one cool thing this can do that most Hasbro figures can't is he's got full splits. I mean, not completely full. I mean, you know, not as good as good old Spider-Man here that can lay completely flat on the ground. But that's better than most Hasbro figures. Like here I've got the Across the Spider-Verse Spider-Gwen. These legs are modified. The whole figure's modified to have better joints, but she can go that far. So, you know... So yeah, doing the splits with these kind of hips, like these are like the ball hips, they do work for this. They go back. I mean, you can do the splits with them. They go back a little bit. They don't go forward too much because of the squishy part here. If you do move it, you can get the legs up that high, which, you know, not the best. And then you have a thigh swivel here, which on some of these, I think Donatello, the thigh swivel works even without using that joint. Then there's the knee joint. They are pinless. The elbows aren't pinless. The knees are pinless, which I don't really care about pinless or not, considering they're not really that noticeable. Like, you can't see them, but they're not, like, you know, popping out or anything. But the knee joints, they were good. Like, pretty much all the way. And then they do have, like, an ankle pivot, which, you can't really pivot the ankle that much. It's kind of like the way the wraps on their legs work, or on their ankles. Looks kind of weird, but you can't do that. The ankles go back that far. That's about as far as they go back, and they don't go forward at all, like Michelangelo's don't. The articulation is slightly different from all of them. The amount of articulation they have is the same, but the range of movement is different between them, which is kind of unfortunate. Next, let's take a look at Donatello. I was about to call him Michelangelo. No, this is Donatello. And then again, you have these little plug things on the back that go into the head. This one does fit loose on his head. If you have it like this, it's loose. But if you have it in other directions, it's not loose, which is, I mean, there it's kind of loose. But yeah, only if it's... But yeah, that's cool as well. There's the face sculpt. It looks nice as well. And all of them do have like these same kind of like bumpy bumps. Yeah, that's what it's called on their skin. Angry face. I like the wrinkles on this. The details are nice. Like if you were to get these, I don't know if the colored turtles have like a wash, because if there was like a wash or some kind of shading done in here, the details would look even better on this. Because the way this looks, it looks kind of like a prototype, which it looks cool though still, you know. The shells are also, nothing of these turtles have any reused parts, I don't think. Not even, maybe the internal joints, but you can see the shells look different. His looks much more organic. His looks like it has bolts on it, which that's cool. I'm also not familiar with this iteration of the Ninja Turtles, but, you know, it looks cool. I like that they're kind of muscular and stuff here. You can see, like, he's got pectorals. If you move this down, you can see they actually sculpted, like, muscles on these guys, so that's cool. This one strap here is kind of floppy, but it is glued here, so that's kind of weird. Most of the body it's not the same body. I mean, are the arms the same? I think the arms, I don't think the arms are the same. No, because the elbow pads are also different on these guys. This guy also, his joints, when you move them, you do have to really force the elbows, because they feel like, or not the elbows, the shoulders, because they feel like they're going to break. So that's kind of unfortunate. You know, more knee pads there. These figures, I feel like they are well made, but some joints, when you move them, they look kind of weird. But yeah, but as far as Donatello's accessories, you have an interchangeable head. If I can get it out of there, I'm just gonna use this weapon to pull them out. Come on, dude. Hang on. Okay, it took me long enough, but I got the head out. And you see, it looks kind of creepy. He's smiling, and then with the way the pupils look, and then with the way the eye mask looks, it looks like he looks angry. It looks like he has like sinister looking eyes, you know, like he's got a Green Goblin smile, and it looks kind of creepy with the pupils, which it's kind of weird. If I were to display these, I would just use the angry head on probably all of them, because I feel like the neutral faces, except Raphael, looked all kind of weird. And by the way, he can also do the splits. And yeah, there's the alternate head. As far as accessories it comes with his bow staff, which you can put in either hand. I always just put stuff in the left hand because I'm left-handed, and it's also easier because I hold it with my right and push in with the left. You see, it's really stiff to get these weapons on, but there it is. I feel like it's too short. Like, I'm used to Donatello's bow staff being about as tall as him, and because it looks kind of short. Come on, dude. Is it safe to pull it like this? It is. I'm used to his bow staff being like as tall as him. Like, it should be up to here, you know? Like, it should be above the camera, like up here, you know? You can also put it on the back. It does have a wooden texture on the black parts, and it has like the wrap thing on it. The paint is a little bit sloppy in parts, like right there. It is a little in parts, but that's okay. And then he has this holster here, which does go all the way through, but unfortunately, just like the hands, it does fit really tight. Like, that's as far as I'm comfortable going in before I feel like it might break. Like, see, that's my issue with these guys. They look nice, but so many of the parts, I feel like if I move them wrong, they're going to break, and I don't like that on a figure. I just like being able to, you know, pose the joints around and, like, you know, do whatever I want with this and not have the fear of, oh, man, what if the joints are going to snap off? Like, these, like, I'm not scared any of the joints are going to break, you know, but, like, these ones, I'm, like, kind of nervous, you know. As far as other accessories goes, this is one of my favorite accessories. in this set, possibly, and it's these goggles. Because they look cool. Look at that. It does kind of goes back. I feel like they should be like this. I don't think you have to take off the tassel things on the back. No, you could leave them on. Yeah, you could leave them on, and I think that looks pretty cool. Like, those eyes look cool, or the goggles. They're painted very nicely. They have, like, a very, like, metallic look to them. They look really cool. Look at that. Those details there. That looks cool. And the paint is pretty clean on that. It has, like, a texture throughout. These are very well-made figures, honestly. As far as, like, the looks and the accessories, but I just feel like I'm going to break them. And then this looks cool. Also painted very nice silver metallic. It looks really good. Like, look at that. Compare that to the magnet on his foot. I mean, that's not really a fair comparison, but you can see they look very similar. I mean, the magnet is peeling off, but if you compare it like that, they look very similar. And this is real metal. This is obviously, you know, plastic painted. And this is like some sort of gauntlet. Like I said, I'm not familiar with this iteration of the Ninja Turtles, but I'm pretty sure he's supposed to wear it like this, and it's like some sort of laser beam. Because it doesn't fit on his head. But yeah, it's like a cool laser, or like a punch gauntlet. I don't know. Something like Shocker from Spider-Man. I don't know. But that's cool. And then it comes with interchangeable hands. I'm not going to pull them out here, but I'm going to pull them out. You get a fist, similar to Michelangelo's. Then you get another hand that's kind of like a gripping hand. Then you get two, like, style pose hands, kind of like Michelangelo's, like these. So I think the hands are probably reused. I think mostly on these two because their wraps look the same. The hands might be reused, and that's fine because it's hands, you know, who cares? And as far as articulation on this guy, he looks up a bit better than Michelangelo. He looks down maybe about the same. His head does pivot side to side. Also, the articulation on both heads are the same because it's like the same hole and stuff. The pegs are moved the same. You can turn his head side to side. These do, like on Michelangelo, rotate around. These ones don't pop off as easily as Michelangelo's do, which, you know, that's good. Can we get his arms up? That's as far as the arms go up before I feel like they're going to break. And he does have butterfly joints. Are you able to do this pose? It's like it's something I always wanted to do with my Ninja Turtles toys as a kid, which none of them have really had the posability for it. And that is, can he hold it, can you hold the weapon double, like in each, like some, oh, that hand's backwards. Is he able to hold it like this, you know? Come on. I'm scared I'm going to break this. He can hold it, like, dual wield it. I keep saying dual wield, like, double hand it. Is that the right term? Come on. I'm scared to get his fingers any farther. But you can have him, you get his fingers pushed up in there. You can definitely get him to not dual wield. You get him to double hand the weapon, which that's pretty cool. As far as the other articulation, you can see he's got double jointed elbows that work pretty good. Is a bicep swivel, similar to Michelangelo's, and then the wrist have a hinge and a swivel, also like Michelangelo. The torso, his does rotate a bit more. It does squeak a lot, because this is like, it's PVC, which, like, it's squishy plastic. I always call it rubber, like when it's like hair, like some squishy material. It's called PVC, and it's like squishy PVC, because there's like different versions. But yeah, so, and it does kind of pivot. I don't know. I feel like Ninja Turtles, it's hard to do like a good ab crunch on them, or a ball peg or whatever, without like cutting up the sculpt a lot. And the legs, they kick up really high. Like, they kick up at an angle, but they kick up pretty high. That's way better than Michelangelo, who, even forcing it, goes up about that high. So far Donatello is pretty good posability. You have a thigh swivel. And like I was saying earlier, you actually get a decent amount of like swivel on just the ball. The thigh swivel, it's useful, but you can pose them with just the ball, so that's cool. Tilt bend in the knee, which looks kind of weird. And then ankle pivot, which also doesn't work the best, like on Michelangelo. It does go back a decent amount. And it goes forward, not much. Like this joint, it also feels like it's going to break. And I'm just, scared of that. And there's Donatello with his accessories and stuff. I'm going to toss Michelangelo's back in here. This review's going to be like an hour, isn't it? But that's okay, Next up, let's take a look at, come on. Oh, that hand doesn't go in there. Whatever. Let's take a look at Leonardo. Leonardo, like I said, is possibly my favorite turtle. And comparing these guys to each... I'll do comparisons at the end, actually. This is weird, because I'm so used to the camera being a lot higher, because, like, Spider-Man is, like, super close to the camera. Here's Leonardo. I'm about to call him Donatello. I knew I was eventually going to screw up and call them by each other's names. Plug this in here. See, he's got another angry face with really nicely detailed wrinkles. Like, this one too. The details on these figures are great. It's just, like I said, they feel very delicate. I mean, they are kind of adult collectibles. These aren't meant for, like, little kids. What's the age rating on this? But, I don't see an age rating, but I still feel like I might break them. So that's why I'm returning them. Because I don't want to risk breaking parts off. And, like, the cool thing is his shoulders, they go up easier. I think because they're also thicker than their shoulders. I wish they would have just used the same shoulder joints. Because, I mean, yeah, they wouldn't be the right size, but it's better. I'd rather have slightly disproportionate parts if the joints work better, but that's fine. It looks good as well. Again, his shell is a completely different pattern from the other two, which I like. I like how all their shells look different. That's very nice. Some of the other turtles, they pretty much use the exact same body, or like the ones that I got as a kid, like the 2003 ones, they pretty much use the same body with just different heads, weapons, and like their straps are different. And the straps are also different here too. He's got like one separate strap, and it is glued here on the body. And down here, I think it's glued as well. He has this katana, which you can unfortunately see this one is already breaking. Like, that one's going to break at any moment. The paint on these are really nice. Like, the paint on these hands, or on these weapons, are good. Like, really good. Like, look how metallic that looks. It doesn't look like, when Hasbro paints weapons and they just look like cheapy Happy Meal toy plastic. Or, like, it looks like cheapy metal. You can see this is actually dual wield. So I can say dual wield, and it's actually proper. Let's get him hold both of his weapons there. And, like, they're crazy ripped here on the legs, which is interesting. You can see his joints look weird. And when you bend these knees, yeah, it looks kind of weird. But, that's okay. He has his katana holders here, which plug into his back. You can't take these off. It would be cool if you could, like, take off, the straps and stuff. I mean, you wouldn't be useful, but it'd be cool if you could. As far as the other accessories he comes with, these heads are impossible to get out of here. Let's use Michelangelo's, it looks like a scythe on the end of it. Scythe or scythe? I never remember which one it is. Oh dear. All right. Pop his head on here, and I like how his neutral head, still looks kind of angry, Like, he doesn't look like Michelangelo and Donatello, where they look like, ooh, I'm very happy. He just looks like, I'm serious, dude. This is serious. And probably one of my favorite accessories in this box is that these slash effects. None of the other turtles have any sort of effect parts. They usually have like interchangeable accessories and stuff. Raphael, I think, might have the least, but you can see he's got these blades. Unfortunately, this one is going to break, the blade here. And this part is also kind of splitting open. Like, I took it out of the box, and it was kind of splitting. Or I think the other one is. I think this one. I don't know. But I don't know. The accessories kind of feel like these are going to break. And you can see they're super floppy, which is unfortunate. But yeah, it looks really cool with these slash effects, Like I was saying, if he had a vertical hinge, you could have his wrist, like, I can pop this off here. You could have his wrist, like, hinged so he could be, like, pointing it down. If he had that kind of hinge, so you can, like, move up and down like this instead of just moving like that. Does that make sense? I feel like I'm not good at explaining anything. Let's put this in there. And then he also has these other two, they're not katana, they're like, are these like ninjato swords? Because I know, like, they say canonically his swords are called, like, they're not called katanas, they're like ninjato blades. Is that what these are? I don't know. Those look cool. Look at the comparison of these. Like, again, the paint is really nice on these, and these details here, like the little diamond shaped things, are also very clean. You can't put the effects on these. I mean, you probably could. You can put them on. You see it's like kind of cracking open, but you could put the effects on there, which looks kind of weird. I mean, you could pretend that like the blade is in here, but those are cool as well. He does also have alternate gripping hands, which these alternate hands are actually intended for these. Or no, these hands are intended for the katana to put it in here, and then these hands are intended for that. You can see the grip. This grip is more narrow, and the katanas are more narrow, and this one is bigger for these smaller blades. There's two of those, and they're both pretty cool. Both painted very nicely. These are much more sturdy. Oops. I wish these were... Oops, I keep dropping everything. I wish the katana blades were as thick as these. It doesn't look that noticeable, but I wish they were thicker. You know, even if it sacrifices the design, if these were like a couple millimeters thicker on both sides, because they feel very fragile. And then Leonardo also comes with two of these, two of these posed hands, like style posed hands. Like he's like, wow, I'm gonna get you kind of hand. But yeah, you can see he's got a gripping hand there. Or not a gripping, like an open hand. And he could dual wield, as I keep calling it. He could double hand the weapon if, because the butterfly joints work, the elbow joints, everything works, but just the blade on the handle is too small. If it was a bit longer, you could definitely have him like double handing the sword, which that's pretty cool. If the blade's not long enough, but that'd be cool if, you know, if the weapon hand was long enough, or the blade was long enough. I can't speak. Goodness. Oh dear, I'm making a mess here. This is going to be like 40 minutes, isn't it? Probably over. Let's take a look at his articulation here. Also, so far, his wraps have been black, whereas the other ones have been like a light gray. I like that. They look cool. He's got like armor pads here as well. The detail on these are great. And all the feet do say 2023, the loyal subjects, and the other one said 2023, Viacom, made in China. But as far as Leonardo's articulation here, he looks up about that high. Articulation isn't their strong suit, admittedly. He looks down all the way. That's pretty good. You can have him angled side to side. And this is like really stiff. Like I really gotta force it. But yeah, it does work. And this does rotate around. Also, none of these straps are the same. None of these straps are the same either, as you can tell. Like none of these are reused. I'm pretty sure the only reused parts are maybe the hands. But maybe between like Leonardo and Raphael, because their straps are like the same design, and like those two share, these two over here. Those guys, I'm pretty sure those reuse, but that's fine. You know, like I said, interchangeable hands are fine to reuse. The arms go up this high, and they don't feel as stiff. I wish they were a bit smoother, you know, like, not like, they don't have to be this smooth. I mean, this does have a bit of a ratchet, but, you know, I wish they were a bit smoother. Like, the legs are smooth. Like, they could use these kind of ball joints, like, for the shoulders, and that would have worked. They do have a bicep swivel, which it does look kind of like, it's not a very clean cut on it, which that's kind of fine. The elbow joint looks kind of bad. On him, it probably looks the worst. But, you know, that kind of stuff doesn't bug me too much. And then he has a hinge in the wrist, and this one just doesn't want to budge. Does this one want to move? This one is a lot smoother. Yeah, if, like, the joints were a lot smoother and the weapons were a lot sturdier and stronger, I wouldn't be as scared posing these around. And then butterfly joint, like I said, he can like double hand a weapon. And he also does have, he has a rotation here. All of these have the same, like, articulation. Like, they have the same amount of articulation, just some of them work better than others. And you can see you can rotate him. It's not the most useful. And again, you can do the splits, which Hasbro figures can't. So that means companies can do the splits. This leg kind of creaks a little bit. You can kick the leg up that high, which is kind of decent. They go back, kind of decent. Thigh swivel here, and he doesn't have like a lot of extra thigh movement like this guy does. Like you can see, you can move at the hip where the leg connects to the pelvis, and also at the thigh here. Not all of them have it, but that's kind of fine. Double bend in the knee, which is also pretty good. It does look very gappy though, which that's kind of strange. And then you do have an ankle pivot, which this ankle pivot kind of just rotates around. It doesn't, you know, pivot like compared to like a Toy Biz ankle pivot, which pivots, it actually pivots like this. And then Hasbro joints, you know, like her foot kind of pivots weird, but it does pivot at this angle. You know, these are kind of like at a weird angle that they mostly just kind of rotate like this, which it still does work as an ankle pivot, you know, just not the most functional. But yeah, his articulation is good too. His is the most less dangerous. I feel like it's the one that I feel like I'm going to break the least likely. Put accessories over here. And stand these guys up. Just have them thrown over here. And lastly, we've got Raphael. Pull him out of here. And he's a lot bigger than the others. He's a lot thicker. I think he's a bit taller than Raphael. And if these were 1/12 scale, I think the height of Raphael should be as tall as the shortest turtle. I mean, he's still short. Like, they should be like, I mean, they're not 1/12 scale, so it's not like the scale is wrong. They're different scales. And he looks pretty cool as well. You know, look at that face. The paint is a little bit kind of messy there on the face. You can see, like, the lips are supposed to have black, and they kind of got lips, like, on the outside of his lips. Turtles don't really have lips, but it's like on the part that would not be the lip. He's got, like, some scratches here, and his shell is also different. I feel like it looks similar to Leonardo's. You know, it's possible they could have, or no, I was going to say it's possible they could have just upscaled Leonardo's, but no, Leonardo's, you can see, has scratches there. I didn't even notice that. Yeah, he gets, like, scratches from the shredder in a couple different versions, and, like, in the 2003 cartoon, a part of his shell breaks off, and he actually never repairs it, so he has, like, a chunk missing, like, for the rest of the show. And I was going to say, they could have just, like, taken Leonardo's shell and just stretch it out, like, in the sculpting to make it work, because they're probably digitally sculpted. He's, like, the pouches here for his sai. Then he has these parts that actually put shurikens in them, which is pretty cool. It's very good. I like how bulky he looks. He's, like, really wide. He's like the thick boy of the group. And then his legs, I know it's not articulation yet, but his legs kick up also not a lot. I thought they were going to, because he has, like, a lot of space there for the joints, but it doesn't kick up that high. The wraps are also, like, the same as Leonardo's. They're black. And I actually don't think the hands are reused, because you can see the detail on these are different. That's so cool that maybe nothing in this box set is reused, which that's pretty cool. He's got a nice detail here as well. Texture throughout the body. They could have painted those pins black. I mean, they could have painted the pins black. It's weird how, if you look at these two arms, the design is, I mean, the paint, like, it missed or something here, because you can see the pin is not completely in, like, the black section, and this one, the pin is completely, like, in the black section. So, that's kind of weird. There's just, like, some sloppy paint here and there, but it's not, like, too big of a deal. It's not like there's, like, red all over the eye. There is red on his skin parts, which does look a bit weird. It doesn't, like, some parts don't look the cleanest, but overall it looks good. And the ankle pivot, again, is kind of weird. The bottom of the foot, they all say the same thing. Oh, the bottom of his feet actually has the black continued. None of the other ones have that. So that's an interesting touch. They could have painted the black probably, but yeah, it's fine that they didn't. Yeah, as far as articulation on this guy, it's the same as the others. Oh no, we got to go over the accessories. He's these tassels. I don't know what these are called. Like the extra rope from the mask. I don't know words anymore. But yeah, you can see that one's pretty cool. They plug in here. You get two of these. You get an interchangeable head. Okay, first try, I didn't have to use a crazy tool. You can see the head, and his eyes look a little bit too far apart, I feel like. And then the pupils, just, I don't know, they look kind of weird. He looks kind of, like, I feel like having the pupils and a smile, like these two guys, it looks creepy, but him and Leonardo, I was about to call him Raphael, him and Leonardo, who have, like, a more serious-looking face, the pupils don't look as weird. I don't know, it looks, I don't know, I think it looks nicer having, like, a serious face with pupils. It just looks, I don't know, to me it looks good. Slap the head on here. Come on. Come on, dude. There we go. The head's pretty stiff. Yeah, the heads are stiff on most of these. And then you get his two sai, which is pretty cool. I don't think it's sais. I think it's sai, because sai is Japanese, so it's, and I don't think they don't use S's for plural, I don't think. They can slide these in here. And look at that. He can hold them nicely. The paint, again, on these, their silver paint is so good on these. And these are pretty pokey. Yeah, these are kind of pokey. All right, so here I have a needle. This is like a sculpting tool, and you can see this is it's a point, and I actually dulled this down so it wasn't as sharp, so I didn't, like, stab myself to death, because I stabbed myself one time in the finger, and it was unfortunate. And these are pretty comparably spiky, so if you stab someone with this, you're probably going to draw blood. Like, if I were to, like, I'd probably draw blood. My hands are sweating. I'm sorry if that was unfortunate. But these are cool. And he also comes with shurikens. Shuriken? I don't know. It's not English. I don't know if it's shuriken, because I don't think it's pronounced shuriken. I don't know. I probably sound like a weeb, don't I, pronouncing these words? Not like the way people speaking English normally do. And he comes with these shurikens. Just going to call them that. And they don't fit in his hands. I mean, I think they do. He does have these alternate hands, like these, that are to hold the weapon, you know, kind of like in this pose. It's supposed to be like he holds it like this, like the side goes here and then one part goes here. But I can't really get the fingers lined up. I mean, that kind of works like this, so that works, you know. We were to swap his hand here. You get him kind of angled like this, you know, where he kind of like the Wolverine thing where you have like the arms crossed, like the hands crossed over each other. And I think you can also use these hands to hold these. I think you could put them like that, I think. Ow, that hurts. Ow, that really hurt. It stabbed me. But yeah, these are also very sharp, like surprisingly sharp. Compare that to this tool. The points are very consistent. But the cool thing is, on the figure, you can actually store these here. If you get this and you're like a kid, or even if you're not a kid and you're scared of stabbing yourself to death, you could probably like sand these down a little bit. Like sand down the edges or the points so you don't you know, damage your body parts. But yeah, that's cool. You can place them there. And then his weapons, take the hand off, you can slide them in here. The shurikens, they stay in surprisingly good. They feel like they're going to pop out, but they stick in very securely. So that one doesn't as much. Like the shape on this holster is a little bit different, but you can slide the sai in the back here. And oh, I almost forgot, he does actually come with another accessory. He's the one that comes with the most weapons. He comes with 3 sets of weapons here. Do you have these, I forgot what the name of these are. Like, you know, police officers have these, like, on their belt sometime, and they call them nightsticks. And also, what's his face? Nightwing from Batman also uses these as well. And, you need to use this. Oh, the shuriken fell off. You also need to use, like, the specific hands. Like, you can see it fits very tightly on this hand. And on this one, it is loose. Because you need to use the hands that are like this. Kind of like the way this hand is. You're supposed to use these hands. And he does come with those. Comes with multiple hands. You also, like the other turtles, you get this one like kind of like a style pose hand. Like he's coming to get you kind of hand. Then you have another gripping hand that is symmetrical to this, which is to hold these weapons. But it's very cool. They come with all these accessories. And this is $80. Like $80 for all these accessories. There's like probably like 30 accessories maybe. And you get 4 figures, brand new skull. I mean, they are probably repaints of like the single card version. I'm pretty sure like the standard colored, like the full colored versions that come on their own, that's probably original and these are probably repaints. But compare this to like the No Way Home Spider-Man box set. You get 3 figures there. One of them which is a repaint of a figure that's like 4 years old, or 3 or 4 years old, and then you get 2 other figures that are just okay. Whereas this, I mean, my only issue with these figures is them being black and white. That's a stylistic choice. It's not like that's a fault. That's how these are. Because Walmart did sell all these guys like in color, so I could have got those, you know. But like my only issue is a lot of the joints and accessories. The accessories are very flimsy, and I feel like they could break. These pins here are also very flimsy as well. They're also very flimsy as well, which you know, that's kind of unfortunate. And like they're not flimsy, they're stiff, and I feel like they could break because those are very thin pegs. But the accessories are good. The paint apps, there's not many paint apps, but the paint apps are really good as well. Accessories are great. Compare that to the No Way Home 3-pack, which is mostly just, I mean, they're not repaints, but they don't come with anything. You just get web accessories that have been around since like 2011 or 12, and then you get a figure that's already come out. And these are all uniquely sculpted. They all have the same articulation, which is done differently depending on the turtles' bodies, but they look very good. Like the visuals, like if you were to pose these on a shelf, like just get them in like one good pose and then have them pose there, they would look very good, you know. And it's only $84. That No Way Home 3-pack was like what, $90? And I ended up paying about $91 for this set. But that's because, you know, tax and stuff. I bought it at Walmart in stores. If it was online, I probably wouldn't have bought it, but I just kind of wanted to take a look at some Ninja Turtles figures, because I like the Ninja Turtles. This one keeps falling off. But these are very good-looking figures. If you like Ninja Turtles, and, you know, you like this kind of style, I'd suggest getting these. I got this one instead of the single versions as well, Single versions do have color, and all the weapons are color as well. I mean, some of these have color on them. Turtles are fully painted and stuff, and all the other ones as well. But they were a bit more. Buying them in the box set, each figure is about $21. And buying them on their own, they're about $22 or $23. It's like $2 difference. So I did save $6 buying this, because I did pay $92. If I were to buy them all individually, I would have paid, I think, $96 or $98. So I saved like $4. And if you really want to buy these and you have the money to, and you really want these, I don't know, like if you like they're not unpainted, but if you like just grayscale Ninja Turtles, I'd say this. But if you wanted the other ones, I'd say, those. I don't know, it's ultimately up to you. Or even if you're okay with more stylized look, you could probably get the Mutant Mayhem ones. Those are also pretty cool looking. I didn't buy any of those, but the Mutant Mayhem, they do have less posability and less accessories than these. But I think those, they're kids' toys. These are like, maybe like teenagers and up kind of toys. Or like, they're less for like, you're probably not going to buy this for a little kid, because they're going to stab themselves to death on these and probably break the accessories. Me as like an adult collector, not a little kid, I feel like I'm going to break these, even if I'm fragile, or I'm delicate with these. I can't speak English anymore. But yeah, they look pretty cool. The ab crunch can't, I mean, you could fake it, like, but it does pop off, which it's better to pop off than break. But yeah, the ball pegs don't work in these, because like they have like this kind of joints, except they have like armor like this on it, so it doesn't move. But you can see Spider-Man's supposed to have one like this. I also will review this eventually. That review is coming soon eventually. It'd be funny, like, if someone watches it, they're like, dude, when are you gonna review that Spider-Man? No offense if you say that, but I feel like someone is probably gonna say, dude, when are you gonna review Spider-Man? But yeah, so I'll be back. Alright, so I got him in some kind of pose here. Honestly, I'm not too good at posing figures like this. I'm used to posing like Spider-Man characters that are crazy looking. But yeah, so here they are. I think they look really cool. Like visually, they look great like this. Like I said, my only issue is that the weapons, like Leonardo's weapons, feel like at any second they're gonna break off. Their shoulders feel like they're gonna break. The ankles are tight. Like pretty much like some of the joints are really tight, and the weapons are kind of fragile. If you were to buy these, what you could probably do, like, if the heads are tight, you could probably sand down the ball, just, like, the ball on the neck, just sand it down only barely a little bit, like, not enough to make a difference, and it might make a difference, Like, sand it down, like, barely at all. Just take it and, like, kind of, like, grab it and then kind of grind it like that, and that should be good. And then, like, you probably heat up the arms and, like, pose them, and they'll probably be better, and the ankles, too, but, I don't know, I don't want to have to boil figures, and also I don't like the idea of potentially always maybe breaking my figures. That's also why I don't like NECA. Like the NECA Ninja Turtles and characters look super good, and I like Ninja Turtles, but I feel like they might always break, and I don't want to run the risk. But yeah, so here they are. I think they look pretty cool, I try to get all their bandanas kind of look like they're blowing in that direction. But yeah, so here they are. So let me know what you think about these figures. Let me know if you like me reviewing not Toy Biz Spider-Man stuff, which my channel is mostly going to be that anyway, let's be honest. But either way, that's all for this video. Let me know what you think about this review, and I will see you guys in the next video. Wow.